Well, look who we have here. It's Flash spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. Yes, he is back. And I am joined today by the man who sent me these beautiful games, who let me know the good news. It is Rabbit Roo. Hasn't been casting for a while, but here he is. How you doing, man?
I'm good. It's this is a very good reason to come out of hiatus, and thankfully now that you've moved into a more beautiful time zone for me who lives in Australia, I was able to catch you awake to because this game was played maybe an hour ago, hour and a half. This is really fresh.
Super fresh, and I tell that SnOw was playing live on stream these games. We've actually got a series for you guys today. SnOw is spawning down here in the bottom left, the blue Protoss. He's going to be showing Flash what it is, what he's been missing while he's been gone. It's been like 2 years since this guy has played a game, so he's going to be a little bit rusty to say the least.
Yeah, not too rusty to build the racks on the low ground. So clearly he hasn't lost his gumption to play very greedy. Always been his trademark. Surprisingly, I would have thought SnOw would have done something like a 12 Nexus, but looks like he's just opening standard.
I'm sure he's going wild right now on his stream, letting everybody know he's actually playing against Flash right now. I mean, this has got to be an exciting moment for him as well. He's been playing against Flash for a long time. He's had a ton of games against him. I'm sure he's been frustrated by this player in the past, just kind of a gatekeeper in Broodwar and ASL for such a long time. But I'm sure he's excited to show him what he's got now.
I think he was a losing finalist in one of the ASL seasons. SnOw lost to Flash. So I think any game he takes off of him, almost under any circumstance, will feel pretty good. Flash off to a brilliant start here economically. He's got his command center going, land at the racks, putting in what I imagine is going to be a supply depot to wall in on the side here. SnOw has still not even started his Nexus on this side, so it looks like he's gone with some sort of zealots, but he hasn't yet found Flash, so this is just going to be a little bit unlucky that he's going to last scout what is a very aggressive economic opening. He hasn't started range, so it looks like it's going to be a 1 zealot, 1 dragoon expansion, or potentially 1 zealot, 2 goons and pressure. So a little bit of interesting build up here. I think that this economic cheese, or very economic aggressive open, will definitely get some sort of reaction from SnOw, otherwise he's just going to fall too far behind.
Yeah, interestingly enough here, SnOw started the range with the SCV in his base and then canceled it after. Started the Nexus immediately, but Flash is going to get back inside here and he sees that no range is spinning, so he knows that his opponent has no range right now, and I wonder what his kind of response to that is going to be. He sees Nexus here, just going to go ahead and throw down his factory and probably prepare for the eventual robotics. It's going to come forward. A robotics facility's been thrown down. It's going to be a quick Reaver after this quick Nexus.
Absolutely. He must be feeling really good with this open. The risk you take is that your Protoss has gone quite aggressive, early range, hitting your bunker with goons. You know, you're spending money on repair. He hasn't spent a cent on repair. Yet the first goon hasn't even come to this bunker yet because SnOw started the Nexus before range, like you said. So it's certainly advantage Flash. Even a 4-worker lead at this early stage of the game is particularly significant. So there's going to have to be a little bit of economic damage or some kind of harassment from the Protoss to get back on par here.
All right, going to be throwing down to the Academy. Flash, his immaculate scouting so far, going to be followed up by the scanners. He's going to find out exactly what his opponent is doing. He hasn't thrown down the eBay just yet. Has a second refinery on the way here, but no armory. Okay, there it is, armory here just below the main base command center, and a second factory on the way. Everything looking pretty good and on track here for Flash so far, but this Reaver harassment could be deadly right now. SnOw is so good, and if you're not on top of your game, yeah, he can just pick you apart. Absolutely.
Yeah, the support base come in. Shuttle speeds are already being researched, which is actually pretty early in terms of the timing. There's no observers here. It's one gate. So SnOw is really banking on his immaculate Reaver micro, sorry, to do some damage here, because he doesn't really have too much to fall back on if this doesn't do damage. He trails, although his worker deficit is caught up quite nicely now. But he's really on one gate production with a Reaver. So if he doesn't do damage here, then I think Flash is in a really strong position, and Flash really would have a good understanding and feel for how SnOw plays. So perhaps the one thing I do want to say is I'm a little bit surprised, although the eBay just finishes now, I won't be surprised to see some turrets going up pretty soon.
There's the turret. First one in the natural. Very nicely placed here, but SnOw not a man to be deterred, not a Protoss to be deterred by turrets. He will just fly straight in over top of those. Does not care, especially with that speed upgrade here so early. I think it's going to catch Flash by surprise. He thinks he's got some good defense here, actually popping out a couple of Goliaths and starting the range as well. He's really got a good read on this, I guess, with the first scan, seeing everything that's coming out. And here comes that first shuttle. As Gravitic Drive finishes up here, he's going to be diving in. How much damage can he get done?
Yeah, it's going to be very hard. Flash's instincts, his Goliath placement is good. There's no road in here for SnOw. SnOw can see that. I also like this eBay floating out. That's just really, really smart in terms of spotting. But yeah, here he does go as it finishes. He does pop it in here, but these Goliaths are chasing it down. The Reaver drops. Let's look at the worker tallies. Targeting the Goliaths as opposed to workers. Questionable as to what the most valuable target is here.
Looks like getting a few shots down on the Goliaths. He picks off 2 of them, but he's about to lose this shuttle. Oh, it's so close.
One more shot. Gone, and down goes the Reaver. I think Flash held that with no damage. In fact, he's ahead on supply at this stage of the game, which is almost unheard of in a PvT. Throws down yet another. He's throwing out a science facility at this stage. So it looks like he's going to go for a 3-base play after, I think, pretty nicely thwarting this Reaver harassment. Flash is really on track here to move into a very strong position, and SnOw's going to have to come up with another move. Yes, he's taken his third. His third Nexus is actually about to complete warping. So in terms of economic parity, I'm pretty sure he'll get back on track without too much of a problem. But he's going to have to get his gateways going. And we're now going to have to get an idea of what's his tech path here. Is he going to try and go carrier, or is he going to go for arbiter?
I think he's going to have to get very, very scrappy after that unfortunate loss there to start things off. He's running in the front door.
Tank hit. He dives on it. Very nice.
No, he is going to get that first tank, but backing away now, only able to pick up that bunker and back off. Kind of a wild move there from SnOw, but it does net him 1 tank kill. Now, what I was trying to say before that action happened, before that dive in, is that he's going to have to get pretty darn scrappy with his composition. I doubt we'll see an arbiter transition. I doubt we'll see a carrier transition either. That's just going to give way too much time to Flash to get his 3rd base and his 4th base and get a push going. But we'll probably see just him utilizing those speed shuttles as much as possible, going really hard on the gateway count and trying to take great trades with zealot bombs. That's probably the way he'll be able to get back into this game, but we'll have to see.
So you know how these guys are good, right? Is when you look at where SnOw has put these 2 Dragoons to anticipate the possibility that Flash might counter drop. And here he goes, and he's going to pick off this dropship.
Oh, it's so close.
Gets away. It's so close, but and he's scanned, and there's actually nothing here. So the goons are coming though, but these this is a nice sim city. I don't think these vultures are going to get much damage done. Although there is a cannon in the main, his evacuation is really quick. Although they've all pulled to the gas, and this one vulture is having a really good time. I think he got about 3 or 4 kills, so not bad harassment. But the reactions from both players were fantastic. I think SnOw will be a little bit disappointed because he spotted that dropship really early. Flash flew, stopped, waited, and then went. I think if he had 1 more goon, he could have picked off that dropship even before it got into his base. But at the end of the day, not too much damage. The game's still pretty evenly poised at this stage.
Yeah, and picking off the dropship is actually a big win here for the Protoss. You know that that's not going to be flying around and, harassing your 3rd base here on the left side. it's just not a factor anymore. So he can rest easy here, keep his Dragoons out of the main base. You know, he's completely evacuated those drop defenses now, so he's going to be fine in that regard. Dropping the Reavers off here, gets a couple of shots and picks up the Reavers, keeping them both alive and on high HP.
This is huge. This is huge. In terms of the context of this game, delaying the placement of this command center is so massive for Protoss. Behind the SnOw's already got his 4th incoming. His 3rd's been mining for a while. The difference between win or loss is how long it takes for Flash to land this command center, 1, and 2, safely transfer workers that are not going to get pipped off by a Reaver Scarab here in the corner or anything like that. This is really a big part of this game. It looks like Flash, that SnOw is just sort of circling around, picking up another angle, but he does correctly identify that this is a very pivotal part of this match.
Absolutely. He's going to go ahead and drop his Reavers here at the 6 o'clock. That'll probably be the target for the next base that Flash is going to take as he pushes towards the Protoss natural. Naturally, he's going to want to take the 6 o'clock. That is going to be defended by his push. So SnOw preempting that. He doesn't want to allow Flash to get any units up here. He doesn't want to allow him to throw down mines or turrets in this location either. While simultaneously, he's going to be taking the base in the top left-hand corner.
Lovely goon placement here to cut off these vultures, but one of them does get past, so I think he might lose this probe, which is not that annoying because the Nexus is already warping in. He's probably going to lose this probe as well. But great game sense from Flash, understanding once he'd established his 3rd, that chances are Protoss was going to either harass, or if they weren't going to harass, be moving into position to expand again. And I think the only real challenge for Flash at this stage is how do you stop SnOw just expanding over and over and over again?
Yeah, it is going to be a difficult task indeed. Now that SnOw's kind of secured this upper left with the cannons warping in here, he's going to start to transfer probes to that area, but he left 2 vultures alive, and those 2 vultures are actually going to get a few kills here to transferring probes. Let's see if...
that was very sneaky. He just stuck them in the corner, didn't he? And so as soon as SnOw was thinking that the vultures were gone, he picks off a few probes for free. That's very smart.
Yeah, it's up to SnOw to track those down, and we'll see if Flash can get any more probes with these. He's actually positioning himself between the 3rd and the incoming 4th here, or the incoming 5th, excuse me. And oh, he's just barely gonna miss this transfer. Look at all the probes coming up the map, and he doesn't manage to get that. SnOw is gonna get that base up and running here.
That is a powerful escort, though. If I ever hired a security company, I would want SnOw to be the escorting Dragoon controller.
Absolutely. Keeping those probes alive is something that SnOw does immaculately well, and allowing some Dragoons to filter in towards the Terran natural, unfortunately. Allowing some of those to go down. He does lose one of the Reavers as well down here at 6 o'clock, trying to delay this next base from coming up. This base is absolutely pivotal, and it looks like SnOw's willing to fight for it.
Oh, nice storm. It's going to get both of these tanks. There's only one sieging up on the logo. Another storm goes off. It's going to probably get a few SCVs. I don't know if this guy's got any energy left. He does. As I say it, he gets a 3rd storm off. Sometimes it just feels like Protosses have bottomless storms. It's not true, but it certainly does feel like it sometimes.
Yeah, he doesn't have that energy upgrade just yet, so only 2 storms apiece for these, but 2 more Templar are going to come in, throw down their storms, and more Terran death here. Lots more of these units falling and getting softened up for the additional units that are coming up here to mop up. Man, this is getting a little bit hectic for our Terran player. He's got to get up here and secure this.
The value that he's getting on these constant trades. I mean, I think supplies were maybe 15 to 20 apart just before the skirmish over this base. And SnOw has certainly pulled a little bit ahead of that. Those were some good trades. The storms did good damage.
Well, we've got EMP on the way now, so we'll have to see if some of these science vessels can land that spell, get rid of the energy on these Templar, because once they have no energy...
Shuttles are loading up here in the middle. I really want to see where this is going. Let's track this little pod here. Where is this going? Speed shuttles flying in straight for this new base. 3 at a time. It's going to be heaps of storms. Defensive matrix goes up on one of the tanks. There's the first storm that goes, mainly targeting down the vultures. I think most of the high Templars have died. Sending these goons up there. There's no supply depot wall, so Protoss does have access to get up the ramp. He's also sending his goons at the other time. I think this base is going to fall.
This base is getting dangerously close to being denied here. A big storm on
them
all the
workers.
SCVs.
Beautiful.
Flash really wants to take this base right now, but he's running dangerously low on tanks, even taking the tanks away from his third base. What's left defending is nothing at this moment. Gonna pick off this Archon, but losing these tanks is not an option right now. He's got to keep these alive. More Zealots are coming up here, and more Dragoons are being rallied forward. SnOw just relentlessly pushing through here, getting so aggressive in this. Oh, the storm! So many kills, 13 kills on that one Templar.
13, that was beautiful. I almost wonder strategically if it was worthwhile for Flash to fight for this base. I mean, he landed his command center at 10 minutes. SnOw is playing a speed shuttle Reaver type style. Question I got to ask, and what I will pose to you, Cyan, is should he not have just, off of this 9-fact production, should he not have just have powered up for a 2-1 timing and pushed one of the far-reaching bases?
I don't think you can push a far-reaching base here. Getting up, for example, to the top left is just not going to be an option. You're going to leave your flanks way too wide open. The supply train is going to get torn apart. He's actually trying to attack the third base right now, so I won't finish that thought, but loses the Reaver, not able to push this high ground. Tanks too well set up here for Flash, and now Vulture's out on the map. He's going to do some harassment, and to answer your question, I think he could have potentially, seeing as a lot of that army was down at the bottom center, maybe gone for this third base over here and tried to push towards the natural. It's no longer an option though, and he has managed to secure this base, but I think he's given up a lot to get that done.
Yeah, I just think the amount of time. I mean, there's yet another expansion coming up for Protoss. They're on 6 bases. So yes, 4-basing Terran is a scary prospect, especially in the hands of Flash. But it just feels like, you know, he was preoccupied. He's got 3-2, and I can't think of anything more scary than a 3-2 Terran just moving their entire mech ball across the map, even if it's just to the natural of the Protoss. It's probably the most terrifying and most difficult thing to defend as a Protoss player.
Yeah, he is getting close to the point where he could decide to push at 151 supply. It's still not quite there yet, but as we reach 160, 170 supply, Flash is going to want to start to move out, but the production levels are getting insane here for SnOw. He's got another 5 gateways in the top left. He's got an insane number of gates in the main as well. If he takes
13.
a fight with this army, he can remax so fast.
Yeah, I mean, this is 18, so he can produce 36 supply for each cycle of macro. So 3 cycles and he's remaxed if he loses everything. And he's a skillful Protoss. He's unlikely to engage to the point where he would lose everything. But that, like you say, that remaxing power is really what playing Protoss is all about, particularly in this match.
Looks like we're having SnOw still being aggressive here, still pushing forward, even though his opponent is nearing that max out supply. Clearing out these mines here at the front, not allowing Flash to sit comfortably, even though he's got so many tanks here ready to go. We're about to reach that moment. Flash is going to have to push, but he's wasting Vultures up in the top left-hand corner. He's going to kill a bunch of probes, but this is actually not good, I feel.
I question the value of Econ Harass at this stage of the game. I agree with you 100%. I mean, he's got so many nexus. He can rebuild probes way faster than Flash can afford to lose all these Vultures. His natural is about to mine out. His main is just about done. His third is getting there. His fourth is his most critical and potentially most harassable base, because if he moves this army out to go and defend or attack SnOw, he leaves that wide open. So he's in a pretty vulnerable spot now.
Yeah, he's got the army together now, but it's still only 170 supply army. Still got quite a few tanks and Goliaths now in production. How many science vessels do we have with this army? I only see 1. So a little bit lax on the number of vessels here. Okay, 2 just now pops out. Those can be really, really helpful in not only EMPing the Templar, but also defense matrix on tanks against Storm is incredibly, incredibly good. Just basically cancels out that ability and allows you to survive it. So I would like to see a few more of that, but as I say it, we are now maxed out here. Flash is ready to go. Let me zoom out here to get the full view of this army. It's going to be a massive attack here coming across, and this is going to be the moment of truth here, whether SnOw can hold this off. He's actually getting air weapons right now in Stargate, so he's getting prepared for the latest of late games where he's going to be switching into carrier if it goes that long.
Well, I mean, he's got 7 bases. I think he's about to transfer a probe up here into the top right to take the other main, which means he'll have all of them. And I just don't think Terran can win from here because of the remax potential. But we'll have to see if Flash can pull out a miracle. I mean, he is the best to ever play the game. This is why we were so excited to have him back. But I think he's playing against probably one of the top 3 players in the world. Very active, plays all the time. So he is an underdog, regardless of the fact that he's Flash. Oh, beautiful storm there. So let's see how the push goes.
Here we go, saving those 2 tanks with the D-Matrix. That's used up a lot of this energy. They drop another D-Matrix here to save that tank. No, he does not. Gonna slowly push forward here. SnOw buying a ton of time as his fleet beacon warps in right now. Still continuing with those upgrades, even getting the plasma shields here. Flash is taking his sweet time, pushing forward, and SnOw is not shy about just allowing him to push in, relaxing his defenses.
Good play. He has got a shuttle, 2 Dragoons, and he's just dropping and storming, dropping and storming. He has delayed this push so long with 4 units. That is just next level brilliant. It really is.
More Stargates on the way here. Look at this up in the top left-hand corner. He is really prepping for that super ultra late game here. Oh, a big siege up, but it's quite late, and SnOw gonna take this engagement right when he wants
just
to.
Storms for days. But pulls away again. Lots of restraint here from SnOw. Really patient.
SnOw just gonna back off for now. Oh, coming forward. The storms on all the advancing tanks, just tearing them apart, lowering the supply gear to just 137. So many tanks have actually fallen at this point.
Look at that, 10 Zealots, 8 Dragoons, air weapons, doing another upgrade with his forge, getting himself an observer. He's just got units and storms. I mean, his use of storm and just having the Templars when he needs them, where he needs them, has just been unbelievable. And we look at Flash's supply, it's 127. It's just getting slowly but surely whittled down. And he's in essence a Terran on 1 mining base. If he doesn't win with this, he cannot reinforce.
Yeah, he hasn't tried to take another base here at the same time as well. There's actually a shuttle over here on the right-hand side. It's got nothing in it. It's not really denying anything. He should be taking another base during all this.
Yeah. Nice flank. And again, the High Templars and the storms just to slow him down. There's heaps of units up here. He's going to have to come up this ramp, fight all this ground army, and I can guarantee you that SnOw will have units from the bottom side that he'll flank with and storm with as well. So this is very, very hard to break. Yes, he can go up here and kill this base, but SnOw has spares. Although he still hasn't dropped this Nexus here on the other main, interestingly enough.
SnOw just gonna wait for these tanks to siege up here in the top center and start to drop Zealots on them, pick them off. He's not going to allow this 12 o'clock base to go down.
I think he did. He saw the numbers. He reckons that he can take 5 tanks with all of this. Quite easy. There's no vultures here. There's no mines. I think Flash is running out of steam here.
Yeah, absolutely. And remaxing, starting with carrier here and a ton of ground army as well. And this is the problem with trying to attack upper left. You can't really reinforce this army, and now he's just got a weird outpost here over in the top center with holding some ground that really isn't useful to him right now, and all he's producing is vultures and tanks, whereas SnOw is actually building up that air army and getting prepared for the next phase. I don't think he'll even need it though, because Flash is all but dried up at this point. The third base about
37 gas. So now if he spots the carrier switch, he can't even make Goliaths. He's absolutely stuffed.
The 5th base is going to come up here for Flash, trying to take that right now.
Sees everything though, so I reckon we'll see some harassment. Maybe a shuttle coming down to drop some storms. I don't think SnOw will leave that unpunished. He's just circling here,
looking for any weakness in the defense of Flash. He's not going to find it just yet. There's pretty good defense here in the center right, but I don't know. Maybe he can just break in through the natural. Oh my God, the storm at the third. My God.
On the only other active mining base. Oh, and I always said that if he moves his units from here to take another area, it is just so exploitable. If it was his only other income. So this is up and running. He's only got 1 in gas, which could hurt him. But he GG's out. There's just too much Protoss. He's not going to overwhelm that. Pretty good game, though.
GG, yeah. SnOw is going to stick around and kill some buildings here. Just kind of relishing in his victory over this incredible player.
Haha, with his wicked laugh. You know the guy. He's an entertainer for sure. I'm sure he was having a good time. It must feel good to beat this guy. It doesn't matter how out of action he's been. For SnOw, it's always nice to be able to say, I beat Flash. So well done, and a good game. Interesting and very, very nicely exploiting the speed shuttle style, which is way more modern meta, right? So 5 years ago, it was just arbiters, and if you were frisky, it was carriers. But now this Reaver speed shuttle Templar play, I think it's very APM intensive. You have to have a lot of skill, but it is really very, very hard to play against if you're Terran.
And I feel like Flash, he played it fantastically in the early game, right? He shut down that quick speed play really, really well, but he falls apart kind of in the late game, especially taking the 4th base was tough. Well, yeah, we got SnOw. He's enjoying his wins here. He's gonna try to snipe Flash again on the ladder, and he does it successfully. So we're gonna jump into that next game here, game number 2. All right, well, the road to redemption is full of potholes here. Quick loss to SnOw. Well, not so quick, but definitely a loss nonetheless to SnOw in that last game. Bit of a bump in the road, but you know and I know that SnOw is on the, or excuse me, Flash is on the warpath here. He's going to be growing and getting better and bringing himself back to that top spot over time. So it's really nice to see him just as he's coming back here and getting back into StarCraft to see how he's playing and how he's doing. It's just great to have Flash back, man. I love it.
It is, man. It just adds a vibe of excitement and what have you. But we have to be realistic here. If you think about a sportsman that's been out injured for a number of years, or like out for a season, for example, it takes them a while to get back to where they were. I mean, I suppose the best example you can think of is Tiger Woods. He was probably never quite the same after he got injured, but he did eventually find his way back to the top. And I think that form is temporary, class is permanent. I'm sure Flash will show his class as he gets back into it. And we had a look before we started casting. He's only been playing for a few days, right?
Yeah, I saw that the first game on this brand new account was a little over a week ago, but yes, he's been playing regularly just over the past couple of days, and that's exciting. That's so exciting. Yeah, like you said, class is permanent, and this man, he is just one of the classiest.
Absolutely. I love this 2 probes on gas thing. People look at it and think, oh, no, he's making a mistake. No, this is deliberately to make room for the Nexus slightly earlier. It's just at a very high level, these economic optimizations.
He's going to be completely viewed here. He sees everything in the Protoss main. He knows that this is going to be a quick Nexus, and Flash just sticking with the build he did in the last game. Gonna go ahead and grab that really fast.
17, hey? I mean, that's even more risky than the most optimal that you see. Like, for example, I follow a streamer, Quark, and he does it on 20. So he makes the goon before the Nexus, but this is just... don't even make the goon. I'll make the goon now, and then I'll start my range. That's just the confidence of the man. But he just beat Flash. Of course he's confident.
Absolutely. Whoa, look at this bunker. How far it is out from Flash here. He's really wanting to deny a scout here, it looks like. Not allow SnOw to get in here. Or did he already get in here and see this? I missed that as I was looking at that Nexus.
Oh, I think he may have seen the SCV on the outer perimeter of the command center, if not the command center itself. But I'm pretty sure he got a view. If not, he'll send a goon to verify. But I mean, do you think Flash is the kind of player who would ever two-fac? I mean, does that even happen at this level? Or is that just the joy that we have to have as people that play the ladder at low levels?
Yeah, you can't rule it out, especially after you just beat your Terran opponent. He may decide to cheese you, but Flash, you know, not typically the type to do that sort of thing. He's always been very, very confident in his play, but look at this. As I say it, a factory out in the middle of the map is going to get scouted as well. No way. SnOw just all over this.
Look, that makes no sense. That is insane. That is the most, in terms of game instinct, like, why would you check that? What was the tell? Was it this bunker being so far away? That no, because I mean, at the end of the day, you could only confirm the CC. You can't get any further in to have a look. But I can't think of a reason why he would have sent his probe there. Can you?
Maybe he saw the SCV leave the base and he didn't see it go into his natural to scout. That could have been the tell.
Yes.
But
okay.
I don't know. I didn't catch a glimpse of that SCV leaving the base, so I'm not sure if SnOw managed to see it. Now he's going to be hitting this bunker with range, and forcing the cancel on the factory means that factory is going to be later. He lost some money from that as well, so he's going to be a little bit slower here in his build. Things are looking good for SnOw here to start this one off.
They are, and now also he's got to go siege because of the timing on his factory, so he can't harass with mines, he can't block a quick third. He's just basically got to get a siege tank out in siege mode to chase away these goons, which is further going to delay his build. And you and I both know what's coming behind this. My friend Ronald the Reaver is going to be here soon, isn't he?
Absolutely. SnOw didn't get much done with the early Reaver last game. Oh, he drives forward. Tries to pick off that tank. The deadly number of Dragoons, those 4 Dragoons, taking some pot shots at that tank, but only managed to get 1 or 2 hits off. And Flash playing with fire here, trying to kill one of these goons. Oh, he's not actually repairing, and 2 more goons run up.
So many goons here now.
This is crazy. He's got to send more SCVs. Oh, he's running forward. Siege mode.
Oh, wait, another tank's going to finish. He's going to have to get out of there. Good blocking. Very nicely done. And that's tank siege is up. He's going to have to back out of there. During all that action, what we might have missed that I just wanted to bring to the viewers' attention, a 5-minute and 40-second third nexus from SnOw.
Really taking advantage of the defensive position here from Flash. And that early kill on the factory means he's not going to have some sort of starport play coming or anything like that. It's a little bit too risky after canceling the factory to go into that play, but SnOw just expanding like a madman. He is going to have so much money this game. It's crazy. Oh, looks like we had a bit of a pause. More gateways going up in the main. That first Reaver is out on the map. No, it's not. Shuttle here is empty. Just going to be flying in the main, getting a scout off. He's going to see the command center going up. A beautiful scout indeed.
Scouts in the shuttles in the main, and it's just looking and scaring. So Flash being Flash decides, you know what, I'll just throw down a 7-minute and 10-second command center. I'm not worried about all the goons and the Reavers and the terrifying things that can kill me. Just a funny subtlety here. SnOw puts the support bay in the wall of his third as opposed to in the main, just in case Flash scans him and he won't see the support bay. I mean, that's just pretty sneaky stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that gravitic drive upgrade here is on the way. Very fast speed shuttle is going to be coming out of SnOw, and that's probably going to signal to us that he wants to continue with the style that he's comfortable using here and what's worked before previously. The speed shuttle style is very hard to defend unless you are at the top of your game, and we know Flash just not at the top of his game right now. He's still got a long ways to go. Can he hold on against SnOw here with this style?
I would love to know how on earth he intends on landing this command center without either moving all of his units out of his main and having no Reaver defense, or losing this command center to Dragoons. Here comes the shuttle.
Well,
In and out, though. Just a poke.
One method that Terran players have been utilizing more recently in this matchup is building up a few wraiths to go after these shuttles. If you pop out like 2 to 3 wraiths, you can shoot down these shuttles very, very quickly. Now, it's a very new style. It's only come about in the past months. So definitely not something that Flash is going to be familiar with. He's going to have to learn that and practice that before he's really ready to utilize it.
Well, his starport is floating, so he got no intention of using that in this game, that's for sure.
No, absolutely not. And he's going to have a real hard time pushing up this third base.
Oh.
Nicely done there. Picking up that Reaver over and over again, just getting it barely out of range here. But Flash has done a reasonably good job actually pushing forward here and taking a position at the front. Will he be broken by the goons and zealots that are popping out now? It looks like no zealots just yet. 6 more goons in production. Here we go. A few zealots being dropped on top of the tanks in the back. Oh man, these Reavers are gonna get such big shots here, killing off all the tanks. Oh my, completely busted here. Flash did a great job of moving forward. But he
insane. SnOw's not. I thought for sure he would stay in the game and laugh and put his feet on the keyboard and do everything that people do when they're happy that they won. But just the way that he surrounded this, and it was almost like he was easily taking this position. No issues. Yes, the Reaver was a bit of a pest, and then suddenly 3 shuttles drops. All it pops in. It was just, and then the surrounding, the timing of bringing in the goons, absolutely insane play from SnOw. What a brilliant block of taking that third base.
Yeah, just clowned on here in this game. He had so much money as well. SnOw floating 1,500 minerals at the end of that game, still just crushes a Flash and shoves him back into his natural. GG is called by Flash. He taps out, and oh man, SnOw's gonna have to snipe him again here. Flash is just not able to take him on head-to-head at all right now. This has gotta be feeling good. SnOw just putting him in his place at the moment. That's crazy. Let's go into game number 3. All right, Rabbit, we are back on Neo Sylphid once again. SnOw, ruthless, sniping Flash again and again, and it giving him the most difficult builds he can muster, going for those crazy speed shuttle plays over and over again, and really sticking it to this legendary player here in the bottom left. It is Flash. He's gonna be maybe feeling a bit frustrated. I don't know. Does Flash get frustrated, do you think?
I'm sure he does. I mean, for everybody, it doesn't matter who you are. Broodwar is certainly a game of mindset. So the confidence that SnOw would have got from game 1 would have certainly fed into game 2. He would have started to have that belief. He would have remembered, oh yeah, I'm the best PvZ player in the world. I should beat this guy. And so his confidence will continue to grow. So I've got no doubt that Flashes will probably take a little bit more of a knock, and he'll continue grinding. And I think he's smart enough though and experienced enough to know that he should expect to struggle initially. And you don't, if you haven't boxed for a few years, come out and fight Floyd Mayweather, which is kind of what he's done here. So I'm pretty sure he should expect a rough time.
Yeah, absolutely he should. And SnOw is not pulling any punches. He's getting his punches in here, his knocks in as much as possible before Flash really powers up and becomes unstoppable once again. Definitely should be enjoying these times right now where he's able to take down Flash with relative ease, because it won't be this way for long. You can mark my words on that.
So what I really enjoy about series is you see the changes and the adjustments that the players make. So we're back on the same map, right? These guys would have played each other relatively recently, but for some reason SnOw makes the Dragoon first this game. You know, nothing changed. His opponent's the same, the map's the same. I mean, his spawn is different, but he does the 20 Nexus this time instead of the 17. It's interesting the small adjustments the players make, and I'd love to sometimes understand the reasoning for that.
Yeah, it's the same exact build here for Flash as well, but the 21 Nexus actually really delaying that by quite a bit longer. And I wonder what the theory is behind this as well. We're going to see another one of those forward bunkers thrown down here, it looks like. Going to be dealing some damage to this Dragoon. 3 Marines against a rangeless Dragoon is a pretty fair fight for the Marines. They're going to be able to put some damage onto that, force it back quite a bit. As long as he doesn't lose any Marines here, he's going to be fine. Okay, lost 1 Marine, but still okay. Okay, 2 Marines is getting a little dangerous now. He's going to jump forward, kills the 3rd Marine as well. Now it's pretty painful here. Comes up, he does have to back away, but 3 kills on this Dragoon already, and the range is almost done. This bunker is next to useless at this point, and Flash is actually gonna have to build a bunch more Marines. The Dragoon is still very, very useful. Even though it only has 12 HP, those shields will regenerate.
And as you say that, he lifts his barracks. Like, he obviously has another theory on how useless his bunker is. By the way, I have a theory on the previous game and how he spotted the factory. I was tracking while he was speaking that he did not stop following that SCV to the point where the SCV walked all the way back to his natural, SnOw's natural, and he killed it here just in front of the natural gas. So he just does not stop following the scouting SCV until he knows what's happened to it. That's how he spotted the factory in the previous game.
Right. And now in this game, a slight mix-up here. So everything's been pretty much the same from Flash until we've got a starport in the natural. That's going to be for a quick drop here. First tank is going to come out. He's going to get speed, though, with this instead of that siege mode. And he's going to try and get some serious damage onto SnOw here in the early game.
With his 2 Marines in this bunker, he's going to spend a fortune on repairs, though. It's going to delay his drop because he needs the money, right?
Vultures are in production here. Does he go with just 2 vultures, or will he wait for a few more? Ooh, getting some damage onto that low HP Dragoon. Only 11 hit points left on that. He will have to retreat.
In the tank and not the bunker. Oh, he does react in time.
The tank is going to survive here. Dropship is about to pop out. Vulture has not been revealed just yet, and you know, I actually really like this bunker being way out in the front like it is. It allows Flash to really hide a lot of what's going on back here. He's gonna not be spotted in his rallies. The only problem is it's a little bit more difficult to bring SCVs up to repair here. Now he's sending out his dropship. SnOw has no idea about this drop, but he's backing off with his Dragoons and spreading those out. How many Dragoons does he have back at home? He's actually sending 2 Dragoons into his main. The star sense on this man. What the heck?
That is insane. But he didn't see siege mode, so he does have to anticipate the other risks. I don't recall seeing mines in the production tab. So these are mineless vultures, which means that they're fairly limited in what they could have achieved even if they weren't scouted, but just excellent defense from SnOw, and his game instinct, like you say, is brilliant. By the way, this 3rd Nexus was again 5 minutes and 40 seconds, so taking advantage of the Dragoons being parked on the front doorstep and expanding behind it again.
Oh man, he's gonna lose a tank here as well. No, Flash giving up some of his early tanks for just 1 Dragoon kill.
Free, basically. Why?
Oh,
what was he even looking to do by moving out there? I presume maybe he thought that SnOw sent all of his Dragoons home as blocking of any potential future drops, but definitely not the case. And now siege mode finally finishes. That really hurts. I mean, 3 siege tanks in the front here means he's pretty well fortified. 1 means he's pretty lonely. And I'm looking in the production tab, and what do we see? Robotic support bay, Reaver incoming.
Yeah, we're probably going to see the speed upgrade once again. Reaver gonna be very dangerous here, and I don't know what's the future gonna hold for Flash right now. How is he going to take this game? He's got 5 factories coming up, so potential for a straight up 5 factory attack, but SnOw flies in with that first shuttle and scouts everything. He has a real habit of doing this. It's pretty interesting coming in here and seeing all that is going on in the base for Flash. He had an observer out. I don't know what happened to that, but generally you do scout with that observer. SnOw bucking the trend.
Way to the natural now as you're speaking, so I don't know where he was before, but yeah, I thought that's what observers are for, but apparently shuttles are also observers if you're SnOw, so now we learn.
So yeah, he sees the main. He knows exactly what's coming here. All he needs to do is throw down a bunch more gateways. He's got some on the way. Just needs to exceed 5 factories. He needs like 6, maybe 7 gateways plus that robotics facility, building up some Reavers. That's going to be enough to hold this attack, and Flash is really going to need a miracle here in order to take this game. He kills the probe over at the center right just to delay that 4th, but really the 4th is not the biggest deal right now. Holding the attack from Flash is what really matters.
I liked some of the adjustments that Flash has made this game. So the first thing is he leapt into the future and he heard you speak about a Wraith to combat the shuttle, so he made one. And the second thing that he's done is he's actually delayed the construction on this command center by about a minute, waiting to go up to 5 facts first. In the previous game, he tried to do it off 3 facts, and I just don't think he had enough muscle.
No, absolutely, he did not. Does he have the command center on the way, though? Okay, yeah, he actually has the command center finished, and he's just about to finish off that science facility, so it looks like he won't be going for a 5-fact push. Instead, just gonna go ahead and snag that 3rd base. I actually like this better considering the position here, but he's gonna struggle once again trying to take this 3rd. It's not gonna be easy, that's for sure, by any means, especially after losing those early tanks.
So shuttle speed is about to kick in here. We've got 2 Reavers in the shuttle. I think, if I could anticipate SnOw's thinking here, he's going to try and use this, similar to the previous game, as a mechanism to delay or make it difficult to establish this 3rd base. The command center is floating in, so it'll be interesting to see what he tries to do. This tank there's a little bit alone and isolated, so he picks it up quite easy. And just storms straight into the natural. There's a lot of ultras here though, and I think he wasn't expecting to see all of them sort of parked off there, so thinks better of it. But SnOw always threatening, man, always looming. Never a quiet moment with this man playing this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And a little bit unfortunate there from Flash. He lost the Wraith during that engagement without dealing any damage to the shuttle, so clear that he's not really used to using that unit. It does take a lot of practice to change your play style to that extent, to actually make use of something that you've never had in this matchup before. I mean, there were sometimes Wraiths to kind of clear out shuttles that would dive into your base in the past, but the current meta is you have like 3-4 Wraiths and you just put them in a hotkey. You basically use them like mutas, and as the shuttles are flying in, just shoot them down immediately. That's just not going to be a possibility here for Flash, who's no longer producing Wraiths, and he lost his original kind of shooting a Dragoon as they were running in.
So this observer's here just to spot this one mine, I think just to deprive Flash of the vision of this ramp. But I feel like SnOw is thinking he wants to try and harass this 3rd, similar to the previous game, maybe with some kind of drop. But I'm just not seeing... here the army's not coming down from the main. So I think he's going to look at some sort of timing here. I mean, what's your feel? Does he have enough here, and is he too late?
I'm not sure, but we got a triple drop heading around the top left side of the map. Kind of a crazy play here from Flash. I don't know what this is meant to do, but it's probably going to kill the Dragoons in the main.
4 tanks and 4 vultures. It's a very interesting drop this.
a drop here in the main as well. He's actually shuttling more here into the main, dropping off 4 more Dragoons here as the drop comes here into the main for SnOw. He's not actually reacting this at all. He's losing quite a bit of probes. These 4 tanks are going to deal a lot of damage. Back at home, though, he may end up losing his armory. It's really exposed right now. And yeah, SnOw's just going to dive right on top of that. That upgrade is never going to finish. Oh, man, a lot of damage being done here on Flash's side of the map, and SnOw is actually going to clean it up, but his Nexus goes down. He loses his main Nexus. That's crazy. GG. Flash taps out. Too much damage here. He keeps on losing his supply depots, and both his armories fell. SnOw gonna keep on killing his buildings, just celebrating his victory here.
Oh, no, that's so funny. You know, I'm so glad you were talking there, because sometimes, you know, playing this game, when something happens, when it's chaotic, you freeze. And sometimes casting this game, it happens as well. So a simultaneous double drop, we need to try and gauge who's going to get more damage, who's in a better position. Just a crazy game. Both players with the same idea at the same time. We all had a hunch that there was going to be some kind of, you know, there's a climax to the shuttles and the Reavers. It was going to climax somewhere. My prediction was wrong. I had it on the 3rd base. He went for the main. Flash said, you know what? Anything you can do, I can try and do. I'm not going to say you can do it better, but I can try and do it. So it's 2 tanks, 4 vultures. Not particularly hard to pick up. In fact, he had 2 goons in the main that saw their end really, really quickly. The probes were evacuated. So he lost 1 of his 4 Nexuses. It's 5 actually at the time of this attack. He's got 1 warping in here. Meanwhile, on the other side, there's absolutely nothing. I mean, 5 tanks without any mines, without any support to try and take this. And with SnOw's Reaver micro, it's literally just no match for anybody. And the second he sees the Reavers, the Scarabs, he's losing supply depots. He's got so much supply. He didn't stand a chance. And a game that looked pretty close. It was 160 to 140 at a certain point in time. And just a very sudden and very decisive end.
Yeah, the budget recall into the main base of Flash. He used 2 shuttles to move like 25 units or 30 units into the main base. Really, really crazy, micro-intensive stuff that he was doing, all while clearing out his own main base of that attack from Flash. So fantastic play from SnOw. He manages to take yet another game with 3-0 for SnOw so far. Can we get another snipe though? We're gonna find out in game number 4. That is a definite yes. Okay, we have for you guys another game of Flash versus SnOw. This guy, SnOw, does he ever give this man a break? Like, just keeps on sniping him over and over again. Guys, this was not a consensual best of 4 this or best of 5 or whatever. This was just SnOw hitting the queue up button at the same moment as Flash and getting him over and over again. I wonder what Flash is feeling right now after losing 3 games in a row, man. He's got to be feeling a little bit tilted, you know, knowing that he's on stream. He may even be watching the stream or listening to the stream in the background. That's gonna feel a little bit rough.
Well, I'll tell you what he didn't feel like being, and that was gas stolen. He blocked the gas steal before even starting his rack. So obviously not having the confidence to play SnOw after having his gas stolen, or just not wanting to go through that pain. We are on Eclipse, the capital of pressure plays from Protoss. As we see, we have a forward gate, a forward cybernetics core. Nobody teaches this because it's just not right. But anything SnOw does is right because he's freaking SnOw, man. He can do whatever.
Wow, yeah, I didn't see that cybernetics core on the low ground. Pretty hilarious. But he doesn't need to place it there because he did put the pylon on the low ground. That's his first pylon. His second pylon's not done yet. No real choice in that regard. Factory here on the way. SnOw is really banking, I think, on getting that gas steal and making this a little bit more viable. But as it stands, he's going to have to fight with these buildings on the low ground. It's going to help him to block off at least, so it will be harder for vultures to slip by that. But yeah, it's still going to be kind of a pain.
Yeah. Do you see so the SCV's gone straight and the Zealot's gone the long way around so that he doesn't see him coming. I reckon he's gonna expect it when his SCV gets here and sees a gateway on the low ground. You don't build a gateway on the low ground so that you can make goons in range as per normal. You do it to put pressure on, but he's probably gonna expect the Zealot. But still, just a nice subtle smart piece of play. Although the Zealot's just gone to sleep here. He's sleeping under the tree. I don't know why.
Yeah, it would be nice to have the Zealot in the natural right now. The Vulture is going to come out eventually, and you don't want to, be fighting against 3 Marines and a Vulture. You'd much rather be fighting against the 2 Marines that were here earlier. But he is going to combine this Goon plus the
waited for the
Zealot.
Goon. Okay.
Gonna try to
He
bust
wants to block this bunker.
Okay.
No, he just wants to block the bunker.
Pretty good damage on the Dragoon. Not bad. Back at home, Engineering Bay is blocking the natural Nexus. So that's a pretty slick move here from Flash. He's going to be slowing that Nexus down by quite a lot and delaying the Dragoon from making its way over here as well. Marines are going to push out, try to shove back this. Oh no, he loses the Vulture. Oh man, that is painful. Vulture actually getting stuck on one of those other Marines. The Marines were actually out here to try and push back the Goon so that the Vulture could safely leave the base, but unfortunately he loses that Vulture and only trades it for 1 single Zealot. That's a bit of a bummer here for Flash.
That Vulture is so significant. I think to people who don't play this matchup or maybe don't understand the game at a nuanced level, that Vulture, if it's out on the map, blocks SnOw from being able to do this, which is to send every single one of his Dragoons forward as they finish to put pressure on and to force the repair on the bunker. If that Vulture is out on the map, he has to keep at least 1 Dragoon at home at all times for any sort of counter pressure. And it's significant. It matters because the next unit out of the factory is always going to be a tank. And so it's just, he's got it right almost every game. That's why. And he pips off the tank in exchange for a Dragoon, which I think is a good trade. Just masterful play almost every opening. Maybe with the exception of the first game, I would say. SnOw's just dominated the openings of every game.
Yeah, and picking out that tank, it absolutely is a great trade. He's going for DT after this as well, so mixing it up here. SnOw is going to have a very quick DT coming across the map. Oh god, he's going to lose another tank. No!
He's going to get the shot up. Yes. And then one Dragoon's got 3 hit points on him, but he's still shooting the bunker. He's still useful.
Oh no, losing 2 tanks. He's going for mines. He lost that early Vulture though, so the mines are much less powerful. 1 Vulture's gonna pop out here. He's gonna send the Marines out, try to kill that 1 3 HP Dragoon. He doesn't get it though. Third base is gonna come up here shortly. 2 DTs are on the way, and I don't see any detection here from Flash. What does he have other than mines to try and hold this off? Looks like he picks off that 1 Dragoon with 3 HP. He's going to throw some mines out here in the front, but he loses all of his Marines here, and now he's got nothing in the bunker. He's going to lose the Vulture as well.
It's the Vulture, yeah.
Oh, God. If he just kills all these mines with the Dragoon micro, he can just walk right in with his DTs here. Oh, God. Oh, man.
He's doing it.
Oh,
He's doing
man.
it.
Oh.
He makes this game look so easy, man. It's insane. Get a look at this natural of SnOws. This is the best SimCity ever. You just put a Dragoon here, and then no SCV can ever go up your ramp to look at your tech tree. You're going to have to scan with... Scanners is your only way to find out about this DT, but it's too late. There he sees the blur, and that's another very decisive... just dominating the opening, and then just knowing all of the weapons in his arsenal. SnOw picks up another... I don't want to say easy win, but a very convincing one.
All right, our last game of the series. This is going to be on Eclipse once again. I don't think Flash is going to be happy about that fact. He is here in the top right-hand corner. His opponent has been sniping him all night is SnOw. And just for reference, guys, SnOw actually dodged the last game that he got into. So he played those 4 games with Flash, and then he dodged his next game with somebody else just in order to snipe this guy once again. So you can tell he's having a good time.
Well, it's a great stream content. Can you imagine living in Korea, you watch SnOw stream, and then SnOw says to his viewers, "Hey guys, I'm playing Flash." I mean, his viewership probably just skyrocketed. Everybody just flocked to go and watch it. So if he could get matched again, it just makes sense. It's just make more compelling viewers. I don't want to watch him play against somebody else if they know that Flash is around, right? So I'm kind of glad he did that, because he's created some exciting content for us all to get into.
Yeah, absolutely. Just an impromptu 5-game series. Hope you guys are enjoying it. If you are, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. We're going to be doing casts like this every single day now. This is your daily dose of Brood War content, so make sure to get your fix here. We've got that gas steal now from SnOw, man. What an annoying way to play. That is just Eclipse for you, though, in a nutshell. Stealing the gas and then harassing the SCV endlessly here is SnOw, even forcing Flash to switch his target, switch his SCV off to a fresh one, and even that one's losing a lot of its HP, and this probe is still really healthy.
I don't think I'm exaggerating. I've watched a lot of SnOw and a lot of his replays. I've cast a lot of his games, etc. His APM is usually about 240, and his APM has been notably higher for this series. Like, I think he's really mentally dialed in because he really wants to play well against this guy.
For sure, and he just lost the probe. He did get a little bit too frisky there with the probe, you know. The clicks were going pretty darn quick there. He's up around 350 APM. He's trying his best to kill one SCV, probably laughing to his stream about it as well, but does actually lose that. So a little bit of a win here for Flash to start this off. He's going to go for that quicker bunker here in the front, not leaving the second Marine in there to try and pick off that assimilator, and using 3 SCVs to get onto this gas as quickly as possible. Looks like a Zealot gonna run by here into the main and cause some annoyance here for Flash, but he should be able to deal with this without too much problem and start his gas on time.
Interesting gasless expand from SnOw. So he made 2 Zealots. The second one is halfway across the map. He then took his Nexus and now has taken his gas and his Cybernetics course. So a variation, I think, that is almost Eclipse gas steal specific. So you cannot probably get a more map specific build order than what we've just seen here. And I think Flash 2 is credited the perfect counter, which is the bunker before command center to block the Zealots. Yes, you may get one that does a run by, but once the Marines are in, the Zealots are just going to take too much damage, especially now when he brings this command center down to close the wall.
Yeah, he's going to land that barracks, and there's 4 Marines in here, so 4 Marines versus a couple of Zealots with that bunker in play. It's not going to be worth it to run by. You're going to take too much damage on them, and then the 4 Marines alone could probably clean them up with relative ease. We haven't seen a factory just yet, but it's about to go down, and Flash transferring his SCVs about the same time as SnOw sending his probes to the natural. Everything looking relatively even. No one's taken a serious economic damage so far, and we've got a good game here. See how this one plays out. A robo on the way for SnOw. He's going to go
robo before range. Very interesting. So it looks like he might be wanting to do a rush of some kind to get up to Reaver Tech really fast, potentially. Let's keep an eye on that production tab to see when he starts his range.
Yeah, it's been very popular recently going for a rangeless robo. It can be punished by certain builds, but not the build that Flash is doing right now. For example, an FD push is really strong with just a bunch of Marines and 2-3 tanks with rallied vultures. Can sometimes just kill you if you don't have that range. But in this case, SnOw, he's just going to sacrifice early damage onto the bunker with that range in order to get the much faster Reaver out here. And he may go for the same build with the really fast speed here once again, but we'll have to see. There's the robotics support bay on the way. SnOw is getting into his build, man.
Range is on the way. Yeah, it looks like he's going to kick in now. I wouldn't be surprised to see a relatively quick third. He's taken his third at 5 minutes and 45 seconds. In the previous 2 games, the Eclipse game, we didn't get that far. But he does tend to try and push for that quick third. Interestingly enough, and I'd like your thoughts on this, Flash going up to 3 facts with 2 shops. So a potentially very tank-heavy composition for the early game. Maybe a push or wanting to put on some pressure, perhaps.
I think this is definitely going to be pressure. There you go, 4 factory. He's going to be getting those double upgrades on the machine shops here. No armory, though, notably. And this is just going to be kind of a quick game here with a surprisingly fast push out coming from Flash. Will SnOw be able to hold on with the Reaver? I think he stands a good chance here, especially with the gravitic drive, with that shuttle speed and more shuttles popping out. He's going to have Zealot bombs to deal with this, and there's just not going to be any anti-air here aside from some turrets that might come out. Actually, no eBay yet, and there's the armory, so he will be popping down the armory. Where's the eBay? No eBay here at all, so really banking on his opponent not going for another DT build here. Otherwise, he would just be dead at this moment.
He's done this totally blind because, I mean, there's no academies, there's no scanners. You can't anticipate a Reaver. The Reavers are just going to eat these Marines. In fact, I think one Vulture died, and he's showing some hesitation here on this push. He's turning around and going home by the looks of it.
At least he's gonna sit here for a minute, collect his thoughts. He's got +1 on the way, so this wasn't as all in as I was thinking it was going to be. Some players will just go for like a 5 factory all in on 2 base and not even build the armory, just get an eBay and try to build turrets and just push here into the natural. He's gonna run forward, try to kill some of these probes, actually not targeting the probes, instead going for a few of the Dragoons here. Tanks are trying to shoot onto this Reaver, but the Reaver gets picked up and pulled back. All the Marines are dead. The Vultures go down as well. Looks like one Vulture manages to make its way here into the main base. Let's see what kind of kills it's got. 0 so far, throwing down some mines, but it looks like SnOw is going to be able to deal with this without too much trouble. 1 probe does go down. The Reaver should finish off this Vulture. A 2nd probe does fall, but that's not enough damage for the amount of commitment that has been shown here by Flash so far. He's going to come in to the natural now. Can he get that critical damage done? We've got the Reaver. It's going to be landed here. The mines are going down right in the front of the face of these Dragoons, and he's pushing everything back. This is looking pretty good for Flash, but he doesn't have turrets here to help hold this push, and just a few Zealots popping out here along with this Reaver. He could bomb these tanks and just pick them off. Here we go again. He's diving in. He's gonna get a big shot. Oh, huge hits there.
Drag. Oh no, that was, oh man. I think the thing that must have felt excruciating for Flash is that Siege Mode was researching that entire time, and as those 2 tanks blew up, Siege Mode finished. I think his idea might have been just to siege up behind these mines that had landed here at the natural, but like you pointed out so many times, Sam, without any anti-air, be it turrets, be it Goliaths, he was researching whatever the Goliath range upgrade is called for the missiles. He was researching that, I think, with the idea for Goliaths to be anti-air. Here they pop out 2 of them as I say that, but unfortunately they weren't at the party when the party was happening. And the opportunity cost, he's got 1 armory. You know, the opportunity cost of that attack is that his upgrade's going to be behind. He's definitely off his game a bit because for quite a bit of time he only had 1 gas at his natural, 1 SCV at his natural gas. He did eventually fix that. He is now bringing in his command center, but I just feel like, similar to the other games, that command center, when he tries to land it, is just going to get so much Reaver shuttle pressure. So let's see what he can learn from the games that he's played thus far today.
And this map is absolutely notoriously difficult for the Terran player to take his 3rd base, and it may be why Flash was relying on this earlier pressure play to try and win the game a bit quicker than usual. It's just going to be so hard to get that because the distance between the natural and the third base is incredibly large and so open here. The Protoss can come through in multiple angles. If there's too much commitment towards that third base, they can break in through the natural. If there's too much commitment towards the natural, they can break into the third base. It's very, very hard to cover all of these locations at once. Looks like Flash has enough Goliaths now and that range as well to confidently push towards that third base and potentially snipe any of the shuttles that are coming out and trying to dive on top of that. But he's just so slow to take this base, and behind this, SnOw is getting 2 more Stargates and a fleet beacon. He is going directly into Karis with that +1 almost finished up already. He is going to have a hell of a transition coming forward here.
I think his confidence, though, in stalling Flash is so high that he will be able to buy the time he needs to get the carriers. Well, I mean, it's just my prediction based on what we've seen so far. His ability to put the Reavers in annoying spots, to pick him off, to slow him down, to force Flash to siege up, stop, unsiege, go, siege up, stop, unsiege, go. It's just been really, really tough. And his units are beautifully placed on all pathways that Flash's units can move. And so, yeah, I reckon if he's just going to go... It doesn't seem like the hugest commitment to carriers, so we only see 2 Stargates, so it's kind of like a hybrid style. And I'm surprised he made this choice considering the fact that Flash has already shown Goliaths in this game. But we'll see how it works out for him. I'm sure he's got a bigger range of thinking here than perhaps we can identify at face value.
Yeah, he's doing a great job here of juggling these Reavers, backing up slowly. SnOw picking off a ton of units as they push forward. And Flash, man, he is just out of units here. He can't really continue this push. He's going to have to head on home and regather his army and try a different angle of attack now. Flash pushing over the high grounds here. He's going to be countered immediately by SnOw. He's going to dive over here to this high ground and try to block the incoming tanks from pushing up here. Looks like tanks are going to siege up and secure this location, but once again, taking pot shots and backing away. More tanks are going to fall to these Reavers, and more vultures are being destroyed as well. Flash bringing up the SCVs here. He wants to start this push in earnest now. Gonna be repairing these tanks and probably try to throw some turrets down on this low ground, rallying all of his factories forward. This is going to be the push to end all pushes. Can he break SnOw's back here, or will SnOw break this push and end this game? We're about to find out.
These tanks are butt naked. They've got no vultures protecting them. They've got no mines protecting them. Just the right flank from Protoss has got to do this. These vultures are handy if it's shuttles that he's trying to win with, but it's not shuttles. It's just 4 Reavers camped here in a good position, and a flank from the top, a flank surely from the natural as well. And I don't think that he's going to have enough Terran here. Here he goes. He moves in, takes the tanks from the one side, pulls back though, loses the shuttle unfortunately, which is a bit of a blow. But in moving forward with the Reavers, building turrets, but they're dying before they can even get completed. He is backing away though, maybe just waiting till he has a little bit more critical mass. He's got defender's advantage. His gateways would be fully enforcing the position. By the way, 2 of our carriers have popped, so they could rock up as a surprise element here as well.
Yeah, a lot of turrets being built here. This is exactly what you need to do against carriers if you're going to try and push like this. Reavers are going to come up. They just barely survived there, taking some tank shots, but managing to get picked up before the killing blow. A lot more units are being rallied forward here, but a little bit slow from Flash. I wonder if SnOw will be able to break this before the reinforcements arrive. Carriers are now taking their shots at these tanks. Wow. He clears
Carriers
out a couple
arrived.
of them. Yeah, here we go. Gonna kill a few of these tanks before he fully engages, but the reinforcements have arrived here, so Flash is going to continue this push, and the interceptor number is starting to reduce. That's a lot of anti-air in those turrets.
Yeah, I just want to point out that this push from Flash kills 99% of Protoss players in the world. I mean, this was terrifyingly well done. But SnOw is just so good, understanding what he needs to do. He's actually dropped some Reavers in between where Flash is entrenched position and where the reinforcements are coming from, just to try and limit that. He has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases to 2, although the third is up and running. So theoretically, this game is really going to come down to the impact of the carriers. That's all it really is.
Yeah, the carriers are now picking off tanks here. There's only 2 tanks to entrench this position at the moment, so SnOw should be able to come out here and break this. Flash aggressively pushing forward with those just 2 tanks up in the front. The reinforcements have been cut off now for Flash. He's not really able to get across the map here because of that shuttle. Oh man, the carriers here out in high number 6 carriers actually killed those last 2 tanks over at the third base and shut down that attack. Flash taps out. Revenge. SnOw takes down Flash.
If only it was on an ASL stage 7 or 6 or 7 seasons ago or whatever it was. But surely it must have been a sweet moment to do this live on stream with the big day, the big news. I know you did a video on your channel about Flash's comeback. Would he come back? Under what circumstances would he come back? I'm almost sure there's more to the story, and I can't wait to see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm so glad to see him back here. Of course, I did make that explanatory video just kind of telling you guys what happened with the scandal and why Flash had quit Broodwar. But if you want to check that out, take a look at the channel. I'll throw a link down in the description. But I was always hoping that he was going to make his way back, and I'm so glad to see him here, and I'm so happy for SnOw as well, man. I don't know how many of you guys saw that, but at the very last ASL that Flash took part in, he just absolutely dominated SnOw and made him look silly on the ASL stage. It was a beautiful stage, an outdoor arena. Flash's final attempt at getting the ASL Cup, at winning that tournament, and he just crushed SnOw, and the man looked so sad on that stage, man, accepting his second place prize. It was a heartbreaker for him. So to see him come back and dominate Flash in this manner, I mean, that's got to be some sort of closure moment here for SnOw. You know, completing the circle here and actually taking down Flash 5-0. I'm sure he'll be looking forward to taking him on in the next ASL. Maybe he can come out and knock him out of that as well. But I don't know, man. Flash is kind of an enigma, dude. You never can count this man out. Even though he's been gone for years, he may still be able to come back and dominate this scene once again. We'll have to look forward to that. And you can look forward to more games with Flash on the channel here. We're definitely going to be following his progress very, very closely here on the channel. Rabbit Roo, thank you so much for joining me here today. It's been an absolute pleasure, my man. Thank you so much. All right, guys, that's it for this cast. I will see you in the next one.